I thought I'd just do a very quick introduction. Should we give up, Dougal? Shall we? Should we just give it all up? Hello! Now I would hate for you to think that the reason I'm doing this introduction in the van with a handheld camera and no microphone is anything to do with the fact that I completely mucked up the original introduction, but I completely mucked up the original introduction. Both been put to good use. I know the sun's come out. Right, let's start this bit again, shall we? Dougal. Blah blah blah. So just to briefly introduce today's video, last week Dougal and I were at Grantown on Spey caravan park in the town of Grantown on Spey, and it's really interesting as far as railway history goes because Grantown on Spey was served by two railways. It was served by the Highland Railway, which actually bordered the campsite. Well, the campsite wasn't there, but you know what I mean. And that ran between Aviemore and Forres, and then you also had the Strathspey Line, which was the Great North of Scotland Railway, and that ran between Boat of Garton up to Dufton, and that served the other side of Grantown. So these two lines, they joined south of Grantown at a place called Boat of Garton. Now sadly both of these lines were closed in the 1960s by good old Dr. Beeching, and what was the Highland Line running between Aviemore and Forres is now the Darver Way, or part of it is the Darver Way between Grantown and Forres. You can walk it and cycle it, and that borders the campsite at Grantown on Spey. Then the other line, the Great North of Scotland line, the Speyside line, that has now become the Speyside Way, so you can walk that as well. On that line, one of the former stations at Grantown, Grantown East, is now a Highland Heritage and Cultural Centre and a cafe. Oh, so we went there, went on the mountain bike through a woodland called Annagach Woods, where there are some great mountain bike trails and walking trails, and this is how we got on. Right, so here we are, we're at Grantown East. There's the old station building, which is now a heritage and cultural centre, and there are a couple of carriages which are now serving as a little cafe cum restaurant, the old platforms. So unfortunately we can't actually film inside the heritage and cultural centre. There's a no filming sign in there, but we went in yesterday, or I went in yesterday, no dogs, and they got some beautiful items for sale, some beautiful craft items and art, and there's a little corner with a screen where you can look at videos of the history of the railway and some things like that. So yeah, I think it's about time now that we went and got some lunch. What do you reckon, Dougal? Yeah, I think he wants some lunch too. Okay. Lovely.
This must be your
That's
suit.
my suit, thank you.
This must be for you.
That's for you.
And who?
That's Dougal.
Oh, well, cute.
He is. He's lovely.
Enjoy.
Smashing. Thank you very much. Right, so back at the van for a cup of tea. That was the Great North of Scotland Railway at Grantown East. So you can walk there from the site in probably about an hour. It's about a 15-20 minute cycle ride. Gonna have a cup of tea now, and then we're gonna have an explore of the Highland Line, which, as I said earlier, it borders the site. You can either ride it on the bike or walk it. I was gonna ride it, but I think we'll walk it. So to give you an idea of how close the railway is on the Darver Way, here is the site, just where that lady's walking now, and there's the railway. So you just go under the bridge, and there is a stairway up to get onto the embankment. Well, you know the way then, Dougal. So just under the bridge, and you can see the signpost here for Darver Way to Forres, 23.5 miles that way, or the Beaconswood Trails that way. When we checked in to Grantown on Spey Caravan Park, the very lovely Warden Helen, she gave us maps of all these trails. There's tons of walking opportunities, and I know that there's some mountain biking trails down there as well, but it is a very beautiful part of the world. Look at that. Right, so here we are on the embankment on the Darver Way. This is heading towards Forres, and you can see how close we are. You can see some caravans through the trees there. Oh, I think if I zoom, you can even see the Twin there through the trees. Can you see it? That's the advantage of being a bright orange van. But I think rather than go to Forres, we will head towards Boat of Garton just for a little way and see what we find down there. Come on, Dougal. Gosh, we've even, looks like we've still got some of the old track bed here. Okay, so we're back at the van, and while I was at Grantown East the other day, I bought this book, which is the Speyside Line, A History and Guide. It's a fantastic book with loads of maps and really good images of the line when it was open and since. Two things have caught my eye. Number one is this goods shed here at Blacksboat, which has now got a preservation order on it, I believe. So I want to go and have a look at that. There's a little map here of how it appeared in the day. Found it on Google Earth. And the other thing I want to go and look at is this, this is how it appears today. This is the halts at, is it Dailuan? I want to say Jaluan, which is Gaelic for Monday, but it's Dailuin. Again, it looks like might be something interesting to try and model at some point in the future. So we will jump in the driver's seat and we will go and see if we can find them. Right, so there's Grantown East. We're just passing now on the A95, heading up towards Blackspoke. See there, as we come over the Spey, there is Blackspoke Station and a goods shed. Right, so we're on the bridge and we're over Blackspoke Station, and the goods shed is just down there. So this is now the Strathspey Way. This is further down the line from Grantown East Station, Great North of Scotland Railway. There is the River Spey, just there. So let's go and find this goods shed that I want to go and have a look at. This is just too lovely. Right, so here we are down at track level. There's Blackspoke Station. And there is the very handsome goods shed. It's a lot higher up than I thought it would be. But let's get some pictures of that. It looks like we are in business. Here we are. Dougal and I, or however you pronounce it. So what do you reckon, Dougal? Oh, he's very pleased about it. So again, this is it's just good inspiration if you want to model something like this, because that platform edging, you know what, I reckon you could make that out of coffee stirrers, and that fencing. So it's all good research and inspiration. Right, so we've had a good look now at the Great North of Scotland Railway, which is this one, the Strathspey Line. We had lunch at Grantown East, and today we've discovered Blackspoke and Dougal and I. We've also had a look at the Highland Railway. That was the Strathspey Line, the Strathspey Railway, which was the one that went up the side of the campsite there, west of Grantown. So now I'd like to go down to Boat of Garton, which is where the station where the two lines met. Now, we could just drive straight there, but there is a far better way to get to Boat of Garton, which involves driving first to Broom Hill. So fortunately there is another way to Boat of Garton. You can still get there by steam train. Right, so we're on our way now, and with the assistance of technology, I'm now going to look out for where the Great North of Scotland Railway joined this line just north of Boat of Garton. So I can see in the distance there, let's look at there, is an embankment. So that's obviously where, there's the River Spey, and that's obviously where it crosses the Spey, and it's going to join us in a moment. There we go. There's the embankment there, so it didn't even need technology. It's really quite clear to see where the former line from Grantown East comes and joins with this line. So this is the line of the Grantown East station where we had lunch yesterday, and this is where it would have been. This is where the junction would have been. Next stop, Boat of Garton. Right, so here we are, Boat of Garton. So this is where the Highland Railway met the Great North of Scotland Railway, and then they travelled down to Aviemore. So it's been really interesting. I'm going to carry on with the rest of the journey now down to Aviemore, and then hopefully we'll have a bit more time for a look around the station on the way back up to Broom Hill. Aviemore and Aggie Ford. Oh, have some water. No? Well, it was a nice touch. Thank you, Strathspey Railway. Go on indeed. So here we are, a little look around Boat of Garton Station. Look at this, isn't it gorgeous? Oh wow, look at the waiting room. Is this not the best railway waiting room you have ever seen? What do you reckon, Dougal? You want to get up on those sofas, don't you? Right, so that is us now back at the van after a brilliant trip on the Strathspey Railway to Aviemore and back. I hope you enjoyed coming with us. This really is a lovely spot, and the Strathspey Railway, it really is something special, especially the view with the snow-capped Cairngorms in the background as you ride along on the train. It's been really something amazing. They're hoping to extend the line to Grantown on Spey as well. They're raising money for that, so if you're ever in this area, please come and ride on the Strathspey Railway. We'll put a link in the description below so you can find out more about it. They're a really lovely lot, and it's just been a fantastic day out. So we're going to head back to site now. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you don't already, and it just leaves me to say, from Dougal and from me, thanks for tuning in. There. Did you enjoy that, Dougal? Dougal, did you excuse me. Yeah, did you enjoy that? Yes? Yes? Did you he never smiles.